Alright, so let's do this. Hello, everyone, and we are back once again with an interesting exchange on shipping challenges and order management on Amazon. Definitely by Amazon by CedCommerce. With your host for the day, that's me, Ketan Mishra, and not to forget my partner in here, Abhipray. Abhipray, so how's everything around?
Hello, Ketan. Thanks. Yeah, it's doing good.
Yep. So moving ahead, let's talk about it first. What's the agenda today of this whole webinar and what's going to be in it? So, what is it that's so pressing about this whole shipping, and what are the challenges right there, and what makes it so challenging now? A lot is lined up for discussion today, but first, here's all we got to cover in a few points. Let's see how Amazon aims to lead the online shopping industry here, and then cover up the major hurdles and challenges while shipping across regions and worried customers. Then we're going to talk about why is FBA and FBM such a big deal, and why is order management so important, and then finally showcasing the demonstration of managing it all like a pro. So let's answer the first question. How big is Amazon? And why and what do they want to be leaders in? It is now safe to say that Amazon is one of the world's biggest e commerce platforms, receiving the likes of both sellers and consumers, having over 9.5 million registered sellers and reaching out to over 300 million customers worldwide. As of today, it has 50 fulfillment centers in the US alone, which translates to a space of roughly 1.2 million square feet of the floor area. Now, if we talk about the dominance it now exerts, then one should see this. Like 9 out of 10 customers check Amazon for pricing first, and it alone has a 49% share in the US e commerce space. The numbers are more and incoming here. As we see a product range beyond 12 million listed on the e commerce giant, and I think it deserves to be called that. And we speak of the Amazon marketplace, then it goes beyond 350 million. Now, currently, the e commerce platform has 1.2 million market beside the US, and now this is what we are exerting upon. It is indeed everywhere in today's time. The prominence and availability are rampant. Now, moving ahead, the length and breadth of Amazon can be felt with 29 international markets it's serving right now. And if you have been treating Amazon just like another e commerce platform, then you are highly mistaken here because numbers are screaming in their favor. New positions in the firm have quadrupled and are adding up each year, and more than 197 million people visit Amazon each month. Now, if we start the entire listing, it will never end. It will never come to an end because Amazon has not only marked its place, but has sealed it on the top of everything right there. Now, how Amazon plans to beat its rival here. Moving ahead in the webinar, we're going to talk about it. And in this race, even Amazon is also leaving no stone unturned. We are just surprised by the way it is handling this massive scalability. So we ask this, is the fastest the best? Because so far, Amazon has been proving this right. In this case, what has emerged is its ultra efficient inventory management, Amazon's secret behind the faster deliveries. And believe it or not, in the US alone, Amazon's Prime membership is 95 million. Now, the question arises, why Prime and what exactly is Amazon Prime? People are now hell bent on getting their orders in the shortest time practically possible. And in fact, the order delivery date on the top three factor, it comes when it decides how seller is going to get the buy box on Amazon. Now, Amazon is just encashing that by providing same day or 2 day delivery with its Prime membership because fastest delivery is the core focus of 83% of shoppers online. Now, we are talking numbers because numbers do matter. And with it, more than 54% of shoppers abandoning their shopping carts due to long delivery dates or expensive delivery charges are there. Also, thanks to that, conversion rates have swelled up by 74%. Now, I want to appreciate Amazon, like, wow, and it's a real damn job. Now, the tale of its efficiency of theirs doesn't end here. If you are thinking about what more they are providing, then let me tell you that this e-commerce giant is helping with prime shipping to further fast track the order deliveries. And there is also something called super saver shipping, which Amazon offers. Now that provides free delivery on purchases above the quote price. And finally, there is the last mile approach, where the product is carried on from let's say a source to the final destination by themselves. Now, you might think this is a flex much, but we'll leave that up to you here. Believe it or not, Amazon is taking major strides to stay ahead of its rivals. With its prime setup and huge networked presence, a lot of major shipping challenges are also being pushed away by Amazon. Now, in this process, Amazon is taking all the extra miles and is working on providing like shipping services by providing it for free, the deliveries by being the fastest and thus competing better, easy returns policies that surely entails trust in customers, as we all know, and follow ups by simplifying it. Unexpected problems do come up every now and then. By handling efficiently, Amazon is doing everything, you name it. Now, moving ahead, the seamless experience that Amazon offers is simply commendable. The other day, while I was checking out the provisions for delivery, what did I find was affordable delivery costs were there. A plethora of delivery partners were there to tackle the shipments and promise delivery time and commitment by sticking to it. And who could have ever thought order tracking could become so informative, but yes, so simplified as well. But here's Amazon doing all of it with no sweat on its face. The return and refunds policy do come in the picture. Where do I begin? The list goes on, and it is extremely transparent now. Of course, very well managed as well. And trust me on this, the list is really exhaustive when I say this, and it is pretty huge. But the fix that we are going to deal with, here's the major concern. This is what we have gathered here for, the pressing and always meddling query in our minds. The one question, being a seller, should we go for FBA or FBM? That's fulfillment by Amazon or fulfillment by a merchant. And is there another way out there? So let's first see what each has to offer and then move ahead. Talking about the FBA or the fulfillment by Amazon, it is an order fulfillment program by Amazon where your customers place orders, and in Amazon fulfillment centers, your products are then packed, shipped, and delivered right to your customer's door. Now with FBA, Amazon also handles returns and customer service. So let's say if you are just starting with e-commerce, FBA is indeed helpful. It packs all the overhead costs and labors into fees after the product is already sold. Now, the process of being a part of the program is very easy. All you need to do is sign for the Seller Central and then go to your account information, locate your services, click on Manage. Now, I should have been having a Seller Central board here, but then if anyone needs that, they can drop their queries there and we'll pass it on their mails. And also, not to forget that we are having experts sitting right on the chat who are there to help you out throughout this webinar for all kinds of query that you might have during the webinar. And we do have a dedicated 5 to 10 minute section for the question answer section. If you have any queries, drop it right there in the chat box, the question answer box, and you'll have it answered by one of our experts sitting there. Now, moving ahead, once you click on manage, there is this sign up for fulfillment by Amazon. It's very simple, it's very easy, and it's set for your business, right? So the program also comes with added benefits there, like Prime shipping that guarantees 1 day, 2 day shipping that we talked about. Then the competitive fulfillment programs, the buy box priority with the Prime badge is also increased there. This is one of the most important factors that sellers look out for there. That's because it accounts for 82% of sales in any listings there on Amazon. Now, you not being responsible for taking charge of your logistics and getting a thoroughly hands-off order fulfillment experience, you are good to go. But if you run on a tight budget and prefer more control over your orders, you have perishable items maybe that require special kind of packaging or refrigeration, then FBA is most likely not for you. One of the bigger drawbacks associated with FBA is that Amazon charges you FBA fees per order. This gets automatically deducted from your seller account balance along with the inventory fees that you already are being charged from. Now you will have less inventory control and visibility. This is from FBA. Another one of the bigger, I'll say, cons associated with FBA is that you will have to adhere to strict shipment guidelines for inventory when it is sent to the Amazon facility. But if the range demands more logistical aid, then switch to it in no time and then opt for FBA. Now, having seen the pros and cons of the FBA, and some of you might have understood that FBA may not be the best fit for your business. Maybe not larger scale, maybe you do hold expertise in the shipment already. Now, to help it out, we are moving on with the next fulfillment method, that is FBM, or you can call it fulfillment by merchant. FBM is a logistical program where you are solely responsible for order fulfillment. Now, starting from the packaging, delivery, returns to customer service, it's all you. The process is suited for those merchants who have lean operational expenses and they hold logistical expertise too, as I said. While the process is pretty much the same as the one associated with FBA on Seller Central, when you talk about, here's something more that you should not miss and I should talk about. Now, while using the fulfillment by merchant program, you will need to tackle the process by at first selecting your shipping settings from the Seller Central, and this is to ensure that a more accurate handling estimate is being done there. Secondly, select regions and services you wish to provide your customers, and then decide the delivery charges there. And in here, you'll get models like price branded model, like per item or weight model, and the charges by Amazon for products like books, music videos, and DVDs, like additional. Now, for this, you can go to your seller center and get more information right there. But obviously, since you have the maximum control in FBM, your margin sees a jump, and you are not bound to the additional hefty fees, even that is levied by Amazon there on the FBA model, that's fulfillment by Amazon. Now, benefits like these are afloat, where you exercise the greater control on inventory, you don't pay for the storage, you're the one controlling the return process, and have the best chances to become eligible for Amazon's Seller Fulfillment Prime program. But this program even has a set of own limitations, this fulfillment by merchant. So, for instance, um, let's talk about you will be responsible for all the managerial activities of your orders, customer care, and everything associated with the order fulfillment process will be and have to be taken care by you. Next comes the all overhead cost that you are prerogative to. A serious drawback comes in the form of the difficulty in competing with FBA merchants. And finally, herein to count is you will be the one handling the entire return and refunds process as well. So, yes, very honestly, this can sometimes get hectic if you are not well versed in the logistic management. And that would pretty much sum up the tale of FBM in a nutshell. So, if you're a pro, FBM is the thing for you. Now, listeners, moving ahead, or I should say, watchers, moving ahead, since I mentioned about the seller fulfillment prime, here's a quick rundown of SFP that I like to call and what it is in a nutshell. So, the SFP or Seller Fulfillment Prime program that is offered by Amazon to sellers using the FBM order fulfillment method at first. Now, here, Amazon provides the prime shipping features to these sellers despite you being the one who is shipping. This process seems interesting, and the process to become eligible for qualifying for Seller Fulfilled Prime goes something like this, or I should say, follow it by as a rule of thumb. So, successfully completing the trial period is first requirement there. Once you do it, keeping stock of your inventory in your warehouses is what you have to take care about. And then you have to process the orders. You have to buy shipping labels from approved carriers. There's a list that is provided by Amazon. You can quickly have a look on this list for yourself. Then pick, pack, and ship them the same day. The couriers then collect and deliver the product in 2 days, definitely. So with SFP, you will enjoy the best of both worlds. That's FBM and FBA with benefits that could go like better competitiveness and rankings on the Amazon product listing page of your products. Then you can even reach out to more loyal Amazon consumers and offer quick deliveries, which ultimately results in higher traffic, increased customer loyalty and satisfaction, and finally increasing overall profits to your business. Now, watchers, however, Amazon SFP has deadlines that have to be religiously followed, and even missing the deadlines by even the smallest of the margins can lead your account becoming ineligible for Amazon's SFP. So you have to think of becoming eligible for SFP program only if you are able to manage the scalability and the strict and rigid deadlines and targets that you have in your business, and that are there during the time of the deliveries. Now, final statement: if you hold the expertise, then nothing like it is gonna happen, and you're gonna run fine with the SFP as well. That's seller fulfillment. So now, after talking about all these methods, what should be your pick? FBA or FBM? To be up, which order fulfillment method you should opt for? Well, if you ask us, if you ask me here, I would say FBM would suit you better if you have a higher sales volume or a high inventory turnover. Now, if you are new to the industry and there are not enough options for your store for you to store the products, FBA could be right for you. And if you have items with higher margins that are like literal higher margins and are also light in the weight, they too go well with the FBA module. And then if you have no expertise and in handling consumer orders and returns, if you think it's going to be a hefty job there. And finally, the inclination is more on the growth side of your business. So FBA is right there. Because it's going to take care of all the shipping and orders and returns and everything that you will be worrying about while managing your business and while watching it grow. So you have to look at your inclination at that point. Now, while when I talk about FBM, that's fulfillment by merchant, it becomes your companion if you are in the position to handle all the logistic works there. Then, if you want to increase your sales margin, then 2FBM seems fine. And if you have efficient systems in place to tackle the shipping and orders, and there is enough space with you to manage the storage of your products. Now, also, if you hold the discipline in managing the guidelines and deadlines, FBM is for you. And in very simple words, if you wish to hold all the control, so FBM is the key for you. Now, all in all, the right fit is for you to decide there. What we have done here is, what I've tried to do here is list what each side offers, and the decision was and will always be on your side. You can also choose the middle ground that serves as an ideal hybrid for both. But it all, in the end, depends on your business objectives and resources, of course. And one thing that is for sure is that Amazon will be your deal maker in the e-commerce world. Now, with that out of the way, let's move on to the next section of this webinar, listeners. App demonstration of the Amazon by CedCommerce native sales channel app on the Shopify App Store. So, without any further delay or ado, let me invite my good friend Abhipray to help us navigate through this segment of the webinar. Over to you, Abhipray.
Thank you, Ketan, for a wonderful introduction. Now, just allow me to share my screen. Just a minute.
Sure thing.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so now we are going to cover the order settings section of the Amazon by CedCommerce app. Basically, through order settings, you can manage and fetch order data from Amazon to your Shopify store, and it also lets you to make personalized edit within it. So to get to the order settings, first of all, you have to navigate to the settings of the app. and later on you have to click on the order setting. There you will visit to the order settings of the app. So first, as you can see that there is a checkbox which says enable order syncing from the app. So if you have enabled this checkbox, you will going to receive all your unshipped Amazon orders into the Shopify through the help of our application. To get all those unshipped orders into the Shopify, you have to make sure this checkbox is enabled from the app. And later on in that, there is an option for create order for the non-existing products, which means suppose you get an order for a product on Amazon that is not existing on your Shopify listing. And in anyhow, you want that order should get listed into the Shopify. And now you have to make sure in that case to enable this checkbox. With this checkbox, you would be able to get that order created into Shopify forcefully with the help of our application. Next to that, you can see that there is an option for set Amazon order ID as a Shopify order ID. So this one is very simple. If you wish to set your Amazon order ID as your Shopify for simple app navigation assistance, check this box. And if not, let it be as it was. Well, basically, if you are getting a lot of orders and you want to keep a track on it and with a common ID, this option might be helpful for you. So I would suggest you just enable this checkbox, and after that, you will receive a common ID in your Shopify store, and that would be your Amazon order ID will be your Shopify order ID. And next to that, we have an option for receive alert on your mail ID to the failed orders. So now there come times where your business will encounter a few failed orders. Thus, the app is unable to create orders on Shopify. Reasons can be insufficient inventory of your products in Shopify, or product not existing in your Shopify, or maybe product exists but they are not linked in the app. In any of the cases, the functions of receiving failed orders alert on your mail will keep you updated with all the required SEO attentions. So if you want failed orders alerts on your mail, simply check this box, and here you will get the notification on your registered mail ID. And later on, there is about the sync shipment status. So basically, once you enable this sync shipment status, you will get, once you update the shipment details into the Shopify order settings, you will be able to sync the shipment status from Shopify to Amazon. And including that, once you enable this checkbox, you will get an option for tracking details required. So that will help you to so if you enable this tracking details required checkbox, you would also be able to send the tracking details along with your shipment status to the Amazon. Also, one thing to be noted that if you want to send the tracking details, you have to make sure you have to enable the sync shipment status checkbox, because if you enable this, then only the tracking details required checkbox get visible over here. And next to that, there is an option for item tags with order. So in that, once you enable this checkbox, you will receive an order on Shopify, including your item taxes. And if you don't want that item taxes should reflect in your Shopify order ID orders, so you have to make sure disable this checkbox from the app. And the last one is about the tax. So finally, tax helps sellers to identify the orders platform where they can create, or let's say where purchased among all the orders on Shopify. Select the checklist of categorical tags to segment orders from one another as per your requirement. This includes Amazon order ID, seller ID, and the Amazon tag. So that was a quick overview to all the actions that you can take from the order setting section of our application Amazon by CedCommerce. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much. Over to you, Ketan.
All right, so thank you so very much for this wonderful session where you have explained how order management by Amazon by CedCommerce works there. Allow me just a moment so that I can share my slide and then we can proceed with the webinar session. So I hope my screen is visible, everyone, right?
Yes, Ketan.
All right, thank you so very much for the confirmation here. So once again, thank you for showing us how the order management works on Amazon-based e-commerce. Now, I hope all the viewers who are here have gotten an idea about how useful the Amazon-based e-commerce app can be in integrating your Shopify business to Amazon. There are varied settings that differ on Amazon, and then on the let's say your other stores. So in that very case, what happens is the app lets you manage everything, your orders and all things in the very right manner, so that you have less things to do. You have more time to plan for your business growth. Now, speaking of our best app here, there are a few updates and features that you can expect to see soon on the Amazon by CedCommerce app that we have. First would be you'll be able to manage your order settings to ship orders in Amazon only when tracking details get updated in Shopify. Now, this in turn helps to maintain the VTR, that is valid tracking rate, of your Amazon seller account. Automatic mapping of possible Amazon attributes with Shopify once while creating a new template to upload products in bulk will also be available there. And then searchable FAQs. We are working upon the most asked query from the app was that you was not able, the sellers were not able to find their exact answers to the queries by searching the FAQs in this section. So we are adding the search bar there where you can just quickly type in the keyword that you're looking for, and the answers will be right there on your screen. Now, addition to this, addition of new Shopify tags for the applicable Amazon orders are also going to be there. The ones that Abhipray you showed at the end of the your demonstration section. So there we are going to have some addition of new Shopify tags there. Now these tags will be visible in Shopify orders and that get placed from Amazon. The new tags include Amazon Prime order, Amazon Premium order, Amazon Business order. Now then, lastly, the custom tag. This would be like add custom tags to utilize. You will be able to add custom tags to utilize later in Shopify for CRM activities or custom Shopify integrations. So, with all that done, we are now open to answering all the questions and queries regarding selling on Amazon Shopify, the Amazon by Commerce app, and more, whatever you feel like asking. Without further ado, please start bringing forward your query. Please start bringing your queries to us, and we will be more than happy to respond to you. Just gonna wait for like 2 to 3 minutes here to know about the questions that we have in the chat section, and after that, all the questions that we'll receive later on in the webinar. We're gonna make sure that we share the answer of those to you right in your mailboxes. So yes, it goes right now if we have something. Now listen, I cannot hold anymore because the anticipation is killing me for you to remind you about something very important here. Have you heard about the podcast that we own? Have you heard from us in our podcast yet? Because if not, you should tune in now to know all of it on hacking Amazon Shopify success. Now, this is a podcast that talks about your business's growth and how you can have a sustainable and a constantly growing business model over Amazon. So, we have dived in details about all the topics that we've discussed here and a lot more in the podcast episode podcast series basically. Now it's available over all the prominent podcasting platforms. If you're on Spotify, if you use Apple Podcast, and if you use Google Podcast, you'll find us everywhere. Just search for hacking Amazon Shopify success, and that's gonna be it. You're gonna find us right there. Now, moving, this is taking me to the end of the presentation here. I'd like to tell you that we are right here, always charged up to assist you in the process. And after all, Amazon by CedCommerce means all the assisting that we have to do, where we manage your orders and address all the queries you have in the journey. Now, we would love to have a one-on-one conversation as well if you have any queries that require such instances. So, share your requirements, queries, and more with us through the contact information that you are looking at on the screen right now. And also reach out to us on our Instagram social handles, basically Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Just search for CedCommerce, CedCommerce, and our experts will sit you right with you over a virtual coffee to deal the query that you're having. So, As it is mentioned, the mailbox address, do not forget to reach us out at support@commerce.com. And with that, this would be all for now. From this end, here's your host, Ketan Mishra, signing off. Until the next time, thanking Abhipray and all the visitors, all the viewers who have been connected here on the webinar and been an amazing audience. And Abhipray, you, an amazing person to demonstrate what Amazon by Commerce can do. And yes, before signing off, I see a few queries right in the question answer section. So not left yet, but yes, you will be receiving the answers to your queries in your mailboxes once this webinar is over within 12 to 24 hours. So yes, thanking you once again and signing off here, Ketan Mishra, said comments. Thank you.